Join Kids Hut family. That is not nice, Tofu. What if your friends find out? They will stop talking to you, won't they?
Oh no! I am so clever, they won't find out ever.
Let me tell you the story of another clever boy called Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer lived with his Aunt Polly and half-brother Sid. He was an extremely clever boy who loved mischief. But Tom also had a very good luck, which always helped him get away with the mischief he did. One day, his Aunt Polly was looking for him. "Tom, Tom, where are you?" She looked everywhere. She looked outside in the yard. Inside in the house and the kitchen. She looked in her room too, but he was nowhere. She went back to his room and called to him. "Tom, stop hiding and come out now." But there was no answer. Suddenly, Aunt Polly saw something move under Tom's bed. She thought it was Tom. She bent down and swiftly pulled the bed cover. A cat that Tom had hidden there sprung out at Aunt Polly. Surprised looking at this, she shouted, "Oh dear! Where did Tom get the cat? Wait till I find that boy!" Just as Aunt Polly was shooing the cat out of the window, she felt someone behind her. It was Tom trying to escape from the room. He had been hiding in the cupboard. Aunt Polly caught him by the collar. "Tom, what were you doing hiding in the cupboard? You ate all the jam, didn't you?"
No, Aunt Polly. I haven't even touched the jam. It must have been Sid.
"Don't you lie to me, young man. I can see the jam all over your face." Tom quickly tried to wipe his face, but it was too late. "Today I am going to beat you with a stick. You have become too mischievous."
Aunt Polly, look behind you.
Aunt Polly turned to see, but there was no one. It was just one of Tom's tricks. And this time he used it to get away from Aunt Polly, because when she turned around again, he wasn't there. "Oh, this boy! One of these days I am going to punish him." Tom was so happy with himself for fooling Aunt Polly again that he decided to take the day off from school. Instead, he went to the river and bathed in it. At lunchtime, he went into a nearby farm, stole fruits from there, and ran out of there with the owner chasing behind him. Just as he was running, he bumped into Sid. Sid saw Tom's wet hair and clothes and the fruits in his hands and understood that Tom hadn't gone to school, but he didn't say anything. When Tom reached home, Aunt Polly was waiting for him and she was angry. Tom understood that Sid had told her everything. "Tom, did you skip school again?"
No, Aunt Polly. Sid is lying.
"How did you know Sid said anything to me?" Well, for once Tom had got himself into trouble. He had no answer for Aunt Polly's question. "Tomorrow is Saturday. You don't have school. You will not go anywhere. Instead, you will whitewash the fence."
The entire fence?
"Yes, the entire fence. That is your punishment." Tom had no choice. He couldn't argue with Aunt Polly. He didn't want to make her angrier, but he was angry too. The fence would take up his whole Saturday. He went into the yard and kicked at the dust. Just then, he saw Sid coming in. He quickly made a mud ball and swung it at him.
Stop! Help, Aunt Polly! Why did you have to tell anything to Aunt Polly?
Tom flung a few more mud balls at Sid and then jumped over the fence and ran away. He knew he was already punished, so nothing worse could happen now. Next morning, when Tom came down for breakfast, he was greeted with a pail of paint and paintbrushes. Aunt Polly had been serious about his punishment. So Tom ate his breakfast and went into the yard to whitewash the fence. Painstakingly, he finished a bit of it. That's when his friend Joe came up to him.
Hey, Tom. Why are you working on a Saturday morning? Working? Who said anything about working? Well, why are you painting the fence then? I am doing it because it is art. Haven't you heard of art, Joe? Well, I have, but I have never done it. Is it fun? Oh, yes, it is. Why else would I do it?
Joe thought about it. It was true. Tom Sawyer would never do anything that wasn't fun. He asked Tom if he could also try it. Tom agreed to let Joe do only a small portion of it in exchange of 3 marbles. Joe thought 3 marbles was too much, but agreed. He wanted to try art. A little while later, their friend Jim came. He saw Tom resting under the tree and Joe painting the fence. He went to Joe.
What are you doing, Joe?
It is art. I paid Tom 3 marbles to let me do it.
3 marbles?
Is it that good? Yes, very good. Jim dashed to Tom immediately and asked if in exchange of his fish book, he too could whitewash the fence. Tom feigned some reluctance, but agreed. And so it went on. Other friends of Tom came and believed that painting the fence was fun. They paid Tom in collector's cards, candies, and even a catapult to get a chance to paint the fence. By noon, the entire fence was painted and Tom was a rich boy. He hid his treasures and went to his aunt.
It's done. What? Unbelievable. Let me see.
Aunt Polly took Tom with her to see the fence. Indeed, it was done. And it was done very nicely. How did he do it? Anyway, his punishment is over. Now I will have to let him go. I hope he does not create more mischief. But as always, when Aunt Polly turned around to tell Tom that his punishment was over, he was already gone. The next day was Sunday, and Tom went to Sunday school. When he reached there, he saw a new girl and was smitten by her. He desperately wanted to impress her. He thought of a way he could prove himself better than the other boys. He went to one of the smartest boys in the class. And bought from him all his yellow tickets in exchange of the treasure he had earned from his friends yesterday. The yellow tickets were awarded only to those boys who had learned all the verses of the Bible. Usually, only older boys were able to get the yellow tickets. When you had enough yellow tickets, you could exchange them for a Bible. The minister asked the class,
"Does anyone have enough yellow tickets for a Bible?"
Nobody had so many tickets, except Tom, who raised his hand. Everybody, including the minister, was surprised. Tom was the most naughty boy they knew. How could he have learned all the verses of the Bible? The minister understood this was one of Tom's tricks, and he decided to test him.
"Very well done, Tom. Please come here and collect your Bible."
Also, as is tradition, when you earn your Bible, you get to recite any 3 of your favorite verses from it. Tom was stumped. 3 verses? He didn't even know one. He fumbled. The whole class laughed at him as they understood that mischievous Tom had got into a big soup this time. Do you still think you will never get caught?
Oh no, Tia. I have to go and tell my friends the truth and apologize to them right away. Hey, Tia. Where were you? Everybody has left. I was waiting for you.
I'm sorry, Tofu. There was something that I needed to take care of at school.
What happened?
Some mean kids are being unfair to my friend Gemma. I found out that they've planned to trick her into doing all the work and take the credit for it. Oh, that's so bad. What will Gemma do now? Oh well, thankfully, Gemma is a smart girl. She's like the little red hen. What? Did you just call Gemma a hen? Oh, Tofu, haven't you heard the story of the little red hen? No, but it sounds so interesting. Tell me, Tia, tell me, please. Okay. Once upon a time, a little red hen lived on a farm with a lazy dog, a sleepy cat, and a noisy yellow duck. Hey guys, look! I found some seeds. Let's go and plant them. Who will help me?
Not I.
Not I.
Not I.
So the little red hen went and planted the seeds by herself. When the seeds had grown into wheat crop, the hen asked her friends, "The seeds have grown. Who will help me harvest the crop?"
Not I.
Not I.
Not I.
So the little red hen went and harvested the crop by herself. The wheat needed to be taken to the mill and ground into flour. The wheat is heavy. Who will help me take it to the mill and grind it into flour?
Not I.
Not I.
Not I.
So the little red hen carried the heavy wheat to the flour mill by herself. She alone grinded it into flour, filled it into a sack, and brought it back to the farm. Friends, I am very tired. Who will help me bake the bread?
Not I.
Not I.
Not I.
The poor tired hen baked all the bread by herself. Once she was done, she asked yet again, "The bread smells so great! Who will help me eat it?"
I will.
"I will."
I will.
"No way! I will eat all this delicious bread by myself." And so the little red hen ate all the bread by herself and enjoyed it completely. What a clever hen! Wasn't she? That's how you should be. You shouldn't be afraid of anyone and should always stand up for yourself. I agree. I hope Gemma knows this story and will do the right thing. Trust me, she will. Isn't that Jon and his older brother?
Yes, that's them.
Look at that. He is really troubling his brother.
Oh, I think Jon is in big trouble. I'm sure his brother is going to give him a big scolding.
I don't think so.
Why not? Didn't you see how he was troubling his brother? There is no way he's going to stop unless his brother scolds him.
Don't decide on that till you've heard the story of the wind and the sun. A long time ago, the wind and the sun were just talking when the wind said something strange to the sun. You do know that I am more powerful than you, don't you?
Don't be arrogant, my friend.
But the wind got offended. I am not being arrogant, I am being truthful. If you don't believe me, let's have a competition right now. The sun did not want to compete with his friend, but the wind left him with no choice.
Reluctantly, he agreed. Okay, my friend. Let's have a competition.
Just then, a young man was walking on the road below them. He was wearing a beautiful scarf and a handsome coat. See that man below? Whoever can get the scarf and the coat off him wins.
Okay, wind. You go ahead first.
And so the wind blew at the man. The man's scarf moved a bit and his coat front flapped a little. I was just beginning. I will show the man some more of my power now. Now the wind blew a little more strongly. The man's scarf and coat front started flapping more in the wind. The wind grew fiercer and blew more wildly at him. The man's scarf almost left him, but he caught it and tied it around his neck properly. The wind blew at the man with all his power and anger, but it only made the man wrap his scarf and coat around him more tightly. He started feeling so cold with the wind blowing at him that he wrapped his arms around his legs and sat down by the road. The wind failed to get his scarf and coat off. I have still not lost. If my power and anger couldn't do the job, you surely won't be able to do it either.
Let us see. I think you have frozen the poor man. Maybe he could use some warmth.
And so the sun gently smiled a bit at the man. Immediately, the man started feeling better. He straightened up and the color returned to his cheeks. He got up and started walking his way again. Is that it? Is that all you will do? Smile at him? The sun ignored his friend and smiled at the man a little bit more. The man became more comfortable and walked his way faster.
Watch what happens now.
Now the sun gave the man an even bigger smile. As the sun's smile grew bigger, the man started feeling warmer and warmer. Finally, he could take it no more and started sweating. He slowly took his scarf off. Oh no! At last, the sun's warmth became so much for the man that he took off his coat and flung it aside. The sun had won the competition. I am sorry. I underestimated the effect of gentleness. I thought only power could make things happen in the world, but I was wrong.
Oh, don't worry, my friend. Why don't you blow at him gently so his sweat can vanish?
The wind did so while the sun continued to smile at him lightly. The man went on his way enjoying a pleasant day.
Wow, Tia, that's a wonderful way to be with people.
Yes, there are better ways of changing things than a show of anger and power.
I'm so glad you are my elder sister, Tia. If ever I do something wrong, I know you will correct me without scolding me.
Well, looks like Jon also has a great brother. See? He's no longer troubling his brother. Tofu? Tofu! Tofu, what are you doing here? Your friends and I were waiting for you at the library. I thought you promised to go with us and help our librarian, Miss Peters, today.
Oh, Tia, there are so many of you. I'm sure you can manage without me.
But Tofu, you promised.
Why are you so angry, Tia? It's just the library.
Yes, but you promised us. How can you be so careless, Tofu? If you behave like this, one day you will have no friends left.
What do you mean?
Haven't you heard of the bear and the two friends?
No.
Okay, let me tell you their story. Once upon a time, two friends had to travel through the forest. It was a dangerous forest with many wild animals. There were lions, bears, snakes, and even poisonous spiders in the forest. As the two friends entered the forest, they were gripped with fear of what lay ahead.
I am so scared. I wish we didn't have to go through this forest.
I agree with you, but we have no choice. We must cross the forest to get to the other village.
What if we get into trouble?
Let's promise that if any of us get into trouble, the other will not run away. He will stay and help the one who is in trouble.
Yes, I promise you, my friend. I won't leave you alone if you are in trouble.
And I promise you the same, my friend.
I am feeling less scared now.
I think now I can easily cross the jungle. I'm glad. Let's go. After some time of walking through the forest, the two friends heard a rustling sound from the bushes ahead of them. They stopped in their tracks.
Oh, what do you think it is?
Shh! I don't know. I can't see clearly. Can you? Just then, a large dark figure appeared ahead of them.
Oh no! It's a wild bear! It hasn't seen us yet. Run!
Saying so, the boy climbed up a tall tree and sat on one of its branches. But his friend didn't know how to climb a tree.
My friend, I don't know how to climb a tree. Please help me climb it.
But the boy on the tree did not help him. He shook his head and held closely to the tree. The boy on the ground saw the bear approaching him and quickly lay down on the spot. He had heard that bears do not attack dead things, so he closed his eyes, held his breath, and lay very still. The bear came close to him. It came close to his head and sniffed and smelled his ear to see if the boy was breathing, but the boy held his breath. Thinking that he was dead, the bear left the boy and moved on. After the bear had left, the boy from the tree came down.
Are you all right?
Yes, I am.
That was a close call.
True, it was.
Tell me, my friend, I saw the bear come close to your ear and whisper something. What did it say to you?
It told me to be wary of a false friend and not keep such company. Which of the two friends do you think are behaving like Tofu?
Like the one who broke his promise and climbed the tree.
What are you going to do about it?
Apologize to you and my friends and go to the library immediately to help.
Okay, shall we go then? Wasn't last night's slumber party fun, Tofu?
Oh, I had a blast. Let's do it again.
I agree, but I noticed that you weren't being very nice to Cousin Rob. You were always with your friend Josh.
Cousin Rob started it.
Started what?
Josh is one of my best friends, and Cousin Rob told me that he didn't like Josh as much as I did.
There's nothing wrong in that, Tofu.
I don't understand. Why not?
Shall I explain it to you with a story?
Yes, I want to hear the story.
A very long time ago, there lived a mighty lion in a jungle. One day, he went to the river to drink water. But his leg got stuck in the thick, slushy mud of the riverbank. No matter how much he tried, his leg wouldn't come out. He called out for help. But alas, there was none. And so he remained stuck in the mud. After a few days, a kind jackal came to the same spot of the river to drink water. He saw the lion stuck in the mud. "Your Majesty, are you all right?"
No, Jackal. I am stuck in the mud. I cannot move. I have been here for days now.
"Give me a moment, Your Majesty. Let me see what I can do." The jackal quickly crossed over to the riverside where the lion was stuck. With his paws, he dug out the mud where the lion's leg was caught. "I think your leg should be free now. Please try and come out." The lion tried to move, but he couldn't. His leg had become stiff after being in the same position for so many days. Seeing this, the jackal made more efforts to free the lion. He pushed him and pulled him till he finally came out of the mud. The lion was very happy to be able to move freely after so many days.
Thank you, kind jackal. You have saved me.
"You are welcome, Your Majesty." "Now I must get back home."
Where will you go? Why don't you come and stay with me? You've saved me, and now you are my friend for life.
The jackal accepted the lion's offer, and both grew their own families. But they continued to live together and hunt together. Their children would even play together. But the lioness did not like the friendship between the jackal and the lion. And she conveyed the same to the lady jackal. "The lioness told me that the lion does not want us to live here with him and his family." Hearing this, the jackal was very upset and went to see the lion. "I thought we were friends, but if you did not want my family and me to live here with you, you should have told me so. Instead, you conveyed your message to me through the lioness and the lady jackal."
My friend, I don't know what you are talking about.
"We are leaving."
No, my friend, don't leave me and go. I have not done anything of that sort. I want you to stay with me.
The jackal understood what had happened. "I am sorry, friend. I understand your sincerity and love towards me. I think I judged you too quickly. It is not you who wants me gone, but the lioness. I shouldn't live here any longer."
No, you don't have to go. I will speak to the lioness.
No, don't worry about it. My family and I will live in another home. But you and I will still remain friends. It is best for both families. Though the lion was very sad, he agreed. And so the jackal made another home for himself and his family. But his friendship with the lion remained. They met every day, went on hunts together, and shared lives good and bad till the end of their lives.
The lioness didn't like the jackal even though the lion and he were best friends. And she knew that the jackal had saved the lion once upon a time.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, Tofu. Sometimes you may like someone very much, but your family may not feel the same way about them.
Oh, I get it now. Let's call Cousin Rob and others for one more slumber party. I promise I will behave better this time. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.